Hey guys, what's up? So I have a very important message, okay? So I hope that you listen throughout this whole video. But part of what I'm going to say, I have to kind of give a little, I guess, example so it all makes sense. So the first thing is imagine a time when you were younger and, you would go to your friend's house and you play imaginary games. Now, in these games, if you were in your friend's house and they made the rules, you kind of had to stick with it because it was their house. So if they said, "Hey, if you touch this corner, you're it. If I touch you on your shoulder, you have to freeze," and so on and so forth. And you always just hated that. But then when your friends came over your house, now you made the rules. And so you said, well, if you touch this shoulder, you move. And if you go to that corner, you drown and you lose if you go back here and whatsoever. So really at the end of the day, we understand that, playing games is, not necessarily a bad thing, when you're playing with your own rules. So, I mean, that's kind of the disposition I think we were all born into. We live in a world where we're playing by the rules of the majority, okay? And the majority wins. So they made the rules, and we're in their game. That's why when you see people who are playing the game, so to speak, seems like it's such a hassle. It's so hard. It's so difficult. Even if they play within the rules and the confines of the games, and that's simply because the people who created the game made the rules, and it's just easier for them. So they don't have to abide by the rules themselves because they're the creators of the rules. So they have all the loopholes, okay? So at the end of the day, what do? Well, you can't hate on people. You can't go out, murdering people and being upset and so on and so forth. Really, the easy answer is what I alluded to at the beginning with the story. And that is make up your own game with your own rules. And now everybody has to play within the confines of your game with your rules. Now, that sounds like, wow, that's brilliant. Why don't we just do that? Of course, millions of people, if not billions, try to do that all the time. So, what's the secret? Well, the secret is that if we can get like minded people, because that's the very important key here, like minded people who want to create a game that is created so that we can all win, but the rules do have to be you have to abide by the rules. Now that is a very beautiful game to play because you'll be the ones co-creating in it. So the call to action is all like-minded people, people who, are law-abiding citizens who genuinely care about people in general, should get together, create a game that's separate and different than the confines of the games we've been playing, and make it so that everyone can play. The difference is it'll be our rules. And I think that'll change the paradigm of how things are created, how things are purchased, how things are propagated, how things are moved, and so on and so forth. And this is really where power starts to show. You see, we've been stuck trying to play a game that will never, ever, ever fit or fit the rules to. So, they say we have to go here, and we go here, and they go, no, we don't want you here. We need you to go here. And so you try to play the game, and so you go here. And then they go, well, that's not the new rules. We need you to go here. And so you go here and you're all over the place. And in the process of going all over the place, you kind of lose yourself because you don't know what's upside down, what's right side up anymore. So now that we understand that this is a game that's being played in a system that already has this predetermined rules, and we're just kind of like the pawns, again, all we have to do is create our own game with our own rules, and then this way, anyone who's going to play it gets to play by the rules we've deemed as good or good enough. And then this way, at the end of the day, people who don't want to play our game don't have to play our game. But people who want to grow, excel, people who care about their family, their neighborhood, people who care about their children, people who really want to see real change in their life, these are the people that will kind of coalesce. These are the people who will come together and want to play this game and also want to be co-creators and part of the game itself. And then you will start to quickly see that everyone who was playing the game that we're currently in, and watch how upset they get, just like kids. And when everybody's hopping over to this game, our game, it's going to be too late, too hard, too difficult to stop it, because we would have grown so big in our own game. And this way, everything would truly be on an even playing field. So just think about that, okay? Because even some of the people who, for example, we fight over race, equality, and all that other stuff. And, unfortunately, that's kind of just a facade or a Trojan horse, because we've had everybody from different races. I mean, I'm Puerto Rican, and I've had many, many, many successful Puerto Ricans in our culture who really, were first for themselves. And you know what? That's all good. Do what you need to do for yourself. But they played the game, and they're playing the game, and they're playing it at a highest level. And at this point, race isn't even a concern or issue. It's more about class. So I would say that sometimes the word race kind of is misused sometimes. And I would say that we all fall under class. See, you can have, again, for example, a poor class Puerto Rican, a mid-class Puerto Rican, and you can have the elite class Puerto Rican. This elite guy doesn't want to help this poor guy because he's worked himself all the way up to the top in the current game. So kudos and good for that person, okay? So definitely not trying to knock anybody for working hard. The problem is that in their righteousness, they take all the accolades and they want to keep it and hoard it to themselves. And that's where the power is lost. You see, the current game that we live in, the reason why it's a successful game for the people who created the game is that they all work together. And so when they work together, the game is successful, because if they all agree, listen, this is how the game goes, this is how we're going to play it, and everybody says, okay, cool, if this is what's going to help us stay a couple of levels or a few levels above everybody, then we're in. And so they stick to the game together, and it turns out perfectly successful. And I think that that's where the problem falls, is that everybody else who wants to succeed, they're succeeding, they might be succeeding, playing in the game, but they're all doing it in separate, different silos. So the owner of the whole game doesn't matter, doesn't care that this guy here, okay, fine, he's playing the game, he's at a high level, cool, he's insignificant. this guy here, he's playing at a different level. Awesome. He's insignificant. But when this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy get together, and then these people get together with another group, and these groups get together with these groups, and then now more people are playing the game and succeeding and now creating their own game, that's where real competition is. And you know, competition is great, so shouldn't be scared of that. Hopefully, if you get this message, you understand exactly what I'm saying. If you don't understand, you could DM me. And definitely, if you do understand, please DM me. Definitely looking forward to hearing about other like-minded people who want to have a new game to play with, that they can have co-ownership and then be successful in thriving in this game and not striving in the current game that we're playing. All right, so looking forward to hearing from you guys. Peace.